My name's Josh Wood. I'm an agent with Real Broker here in BC, Canada. I'm actually on Vancouver Island, but this is a video explaining what Real Broker actually is for Canadian agents from a Canadian perspective. So let's dive right in. So this is our Canadian presentation slide deck. You can find this online as well, but I'm going to go through it and explain really what Real Broker has to offer. So firstly, we see that the company was founded in New York in 2014. So some people say, well, is this a new brokerage? Like, will it really have legs? Can it stand the test of time? No, it's actually been around for over 10 years now, and it is expanding. It is growing quite a lot. And on that note, here we are. Here is where we're present in 4 different provinces and in 50 different states. So we'll get into a graphic kind of showing that. But right now within Canada, we are in BC, Alberta, and then Manitoba and Ontario. And right now we have 22,000 licensed agents. So on that note, I pulled this up. This was interesting, I thought. This is the investors slide deck showing like what is Real doing? How are we growing? And as of 2023, so December of 2023, this was our agent count, 13,600. And now we are in October of 24, and as just shown, we're at 22,000 already. So we are growing astronomically. Real Brokerage is growing a lot. And again, here's the graphic I was mentioning that we'd get to that's just showing where we are in Canada. There's definitely room for growth, and we're still relatively new in Canada. We've been established in America for quite a bit, but we're just growing and getting into Canada. Of course, BC came in about a year and a half ago. Maybe it's actually pushing 2 years now, just about 2 years. Saskatchewan's not on board yet, but I have a hunch it'll be coming soon, so that remains to be seen, of course. Here's our annual revenue, our transaction count, and it is a publicly traded stock on the NASDAQ stock exchange. Its ticker code is REAX. We will be getting into that in a little bit. So, Real Solutions. What makes Real different? What do they actually offer? What is their value proposition? So firstly, it is keep more. Keep more of your commissions with very generous splits and low cap, and we'll be explaining that. Then number 2 is building wealth. So there's different ways to actually earn revenue, earn wealth within Real Brokerage as being part of the brokerage, and we'll get into that too. Our state-of-the-art tech, we do have top-of-the-line technology. We are really a technology-first based company, and we'll be getting into that. Training and education, what does that actually look like? Some people worry about, well, if I join this cloud-based brokerage, will I actually be supplied with training? Will I have support? We'll get into that too. Revenue sharing, so we'll get into that, explain what it is, and then again, our supportive community. What does that actually look like? So number 1 on that list was keeping more. So keeping more of our commissions with generous splits and low caps. So this is our capping structure. It is an 85-15 split, meaning 85 to the agent, 15 to the brokerage until you've capped. There are no monthly fees from Real Broker itself. There will be monthly fees from your board, of course, for your having, e-key access. Those will be monthly fees that you'll be incurring, but not from Real Broker. And this is the amount of the annual cap. Now, there actually is one other available option, and we'll get into that, but that's with team structure. So this 85-15 split, this occurs, you'll be spending or giving to the brokerage 15% of your income until you've capped at $12,000 paid into the brokerage, and then you'll be keeping 100% minus a deal fee. And that's explained over here. No monthly fees, we've said. 12K in and then 100% split. Here is your transaction fee after you've capped, $275. If you happen to be doing leases, it's this, but typically it's this in here. Now, if you are joining Real, there is a sign-up fee of $249 to sign up, and then there is an annual brokerage fee. So indeed, it is 12K cap plus this annual brokerage fee of $1,200, and this covers the E&O risk management, and it's paid in $400 chunks 3 times with your first 3 transactions. You are allowed up to 3 personal transactions. They still have that deal fee of $275, but you won't be charged by the brokerage. So a personal transaction would be, of course, if you are purchasing your own property, but of course there's risks and liabilities involved with that. So really weigh it out and speak with your managing broker, of course. So teams now, this was the game changer for me. This is what made me think, okay, this is why I want to be part of this brokerage. So again, it is 85-15 split, and that is for everybody. So that's for the team lead, that's for someone on the team. And as well, I've heard conversations even from our CEO, Tamir, where there'd be perhaps a mega team with hundreds of agents coming over, and they would say, hey, I know that's what you offer, but like really, what can you give me? And Tamir's like, no, this is what we offer. It's the same to a single agent that sells 5 or 6 homes. It's the same to a mega producing agent, a mega team. We offer massive value prop, but this is what we offer, and there's no under the table deals or sweetening the pot for anybody else. So I do like that. It's a level playing field. And again, if you're on a team, there's no monthly fee. But here is where it's different. The team leader, they'll be spending $12K and then they'll cap. But a team member can opt into only having to spend $6,000 and then they cap. And then they'll be keeping 100%. Now, when I say that, of course, being on a team, there's also going to be a team split. So they'll be keeping 100% minus the team split. But that arrangement, of course, is team specific and team dependent. And you'd have to be conversing with your team leader about what that actually looks like. But why this really appealed to me is because at the time of joining, I was actually making a new team right at that point. And I was actually bringing in one new agent as well that had 0 experience. And I remember my first year, how hard it is. You're struggling, stress levels through the roof. You're not making very much money because you're not doing very many transactions. And at that time too, I was on a very hefty brokerage split. So on a hefty brokerage split, and then perhaps you have a referral fee also, maybe you're only seeing 30-40% of that commission check. So you're excited because you sold a house and the commission's this much, but you're seeing this much. And you worked for 2-3 months on it. So for me, when I saw this, that hey, I can bring in a new agent, new to my team, that I know is going to struggle, but I want to help and I want to make them succeed in this industry, and they can only have to spend $6K and then they cap. How much easier will that make their life and give them the best odds for success in moving forward? So to me personally, that was the tipping point. As making a new team, this is what I want my team members to be able to enjoy and experience. So we'll just go over this again. The team plan, everyone's on 85-15, team lead, team members. The team lead pays 12K Canadian in, team members 6K, and then they've capped. And then there is still this $249 sign up fee. After you've capped, there is this $275 transaction fee. Again, no monthly fees apply. There is still that $1,200 yearly fee that applies to the team lead and to the team members, taken off in 3 chunks of $400 each, and the same 3 personal transactions. Okay, let's get into topic number 2, building wealth, what that actually looks like. So again, we are on the NASDAQ and our stock ticker is REAX. So you can actually build ownership or get stocks in 4 different ways. There's the stock purchase plan, which is amazing, and I'll get into it. Capping awards, attracting awards, and elite agent stock awards. The stock purchase plan is amazing and I think should be part of your life, but I'm not offering financial advice in that regard too. Of course, who knows what will happen in the stock market. So this is the stock purchase plan. I'm a massive fan of it, and I'll just explain why. I'll show you the stock, what it's done. But first of all, this is what it looks like. So before you cap, if you opt into this stock purchase plan, you say, okay, automatically Real, can you just take off 5% of my commission? And rather than give me 5% of the money that I've earned, purchase stocks in my name. And if you do that, there's a 10% bonus. So it's automatic. You don't have to think about it. They'll just automatically not give you 5% and purchase 5% in real stock, and then they'll be giving you a 10% bonus. Then after you cap, if you're opted in again, you're saying, okay, well, just automatically change that to now take 10% of my commission off. And if you do that, they'll give you a 20% bonus of what you've purchased. Now, there are some little asterisks here, which you can see, some fine print, so let's read it. Bonus shares, so this right here, they are distributed 1 year after the transaction at no cost. Again, that's just a bonus. You, of course, need to be opted in. You don't have to. You can say, no, I just want to sell houses and I want to be paid. Totally fine. But if you're opted into the SPP, that's what it looks like. And then, of course, you have to be in good standing and still with Real. If you've left, you won't be given the bonus. Now, here's the fine print of the max amount of contribution. So before you cap again, so $12,000, of course, is the cap. You can contribute up to $3,400 and into the stock purchase program, and you'll be given this 10% bonus. If you're on a team, right, so your cap's not 12K, you're capping at 6K, your max contribution is $1,700 into the stock purchase program, and you'll be given that 10% bonus. Now, after you've capped, so you've already paid 12K in, you can contribute a maximum of $15,000 back into buying stock, and they'll be giving you 20%. You can keep selling houses and keep buying more of the real stock. You just won't get this 20% bonus. And then if you're on a team, again, so you're at that 6K cap, the max that you could purchase of stock after and continue to get that 20% is $7,500. Now, all shares also are RSUs, so restricted stock units. So this is common in the business and stock world, but essentially it means you're buying this stock, it's your stock, but you're saying, I'm going to leave it there for 12 months. So it is essentially locked in place for a year. And the purpose of this is not to have somebody who says, well, you know, I had this really big transaction, maybe it's millions of dollars, and I'm going to join Real, and I'm going to get this huge stock benefit, and then I'm going to bounce. The point is, we're all here to grow Real. We want to continue to see it grow and flourish. So rather than pulling out stock really quickly, no, let's let it grow and let's see what happens. It is your money. It's just you're locked into saying, no, I'm going to leave it there for a year. Now, what has the stock actually done? So who knows what the future will hold, right? But this is what the last 1 year has brought. And we are in US dollars, okay? So 523 US dollars as of today, October 14th, 2024. That is 722 Canadian, okay? So a year ago, we were hovering right around $1.35, $1.40, up to $1.60. And now we're at 523 as of today. There was a high here of 663. So of course the market fluctuates, and actually this last couple weeks in the market, we've seen large decreases. Of course, not just with Real, it's the market in general. Now, just a quick story. I was given a bonus of stocks last September. Okay, so basically a year, 13 months ago. And at that point, I was given around 450 shares just as a bonus for what happened, again, with sales a year ago. So 450 shares, and it was right around this time. So the cost of the bonus that was given to me was $1.50. 450 shares now is at 523 American. So again, 722 Canadian. So those bonuses really add up and really go a long ways in offsetting even what you have to spend to be at Real Broker. So that 12K cap. Again, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do know that being at Real does not cost me very much. And in fact, it can make you money. Even though you're spending in that 12K cap and that $275 deal fees, there's money to be made, and this brokerage is growing. Okay, so this is another way. So that was the stock program, but now there's capping and attracting awards. So this changes. And why it changes is because there were larger benefits offered to agents at the beginning of Real when there was few agents. There's larger bonuses that were offered. So now that as we grow, of course, it has to be sustainable. It has to continue to work. The numbers have to make sense. So you can see that this is up to 22,000 agents, which we actually just hit. This is still being honored, but will it be changed once we hit 25, 30, 40? Absolutely. But right now, once you cap, so you've paid again $12K into Real Brokerage, you are given 150 shares just for capping. So again, 150 shares as of today is 1,083 Canadian. That's up today. So you can, if you're going to be a capping agent, you can just minus that off your 12K, right? Well, now I'm at basically 11K as of today. And if you attract somebody to be able to join the brokerage also, you're also given a bonus of 75 shares, which as of today is $541. That's if you're on this 12K cap. If you're on the 6K cap, you are given, after you cap, 75 shares, which again is $541. And if you attract somebody, 35 shares, which today is worth $252. So that's our bonuses that are right now, stock bonuses that are provided. Okay, so elite agents. So this again will apply to the agents that are doing a lot of volume, perhaps large team leads. So after you cap, how do you get this elite status? Well, you've paid either 9K into post-cap transaction fees, so those deal fees of $275, or if your GCI, your gross commission earned, is $500,000 or greater, and you've had 10 transactions that are at least $1 million or larger, at that point, then you're given 16K in Canadian in stocks as a bonus. So this, of course, really adds up to, and again, negates the fact that you're paying 12K into a company when you're awarded this. Once you are an elite agent, then also you can be invited to teach monthly. So we're going to get into all the training, but all that training is taught by agents that know what they're doing, that are experienced, that produce, and are on the ground floor of really making what Real is so great and elevating our knowledge base, elevating our success and our skills. And if you're part of that, then there's a cultural award of 8K. Okay, so these are new benefits. These actually came out last year, most of these. Yeah, I think all of these were announced last year at Real Rise. So Rise is our annual convention. Last year it was in San Diego. This year it's in Vegas, coming up shortly. So Real Retirement. So under this new program that was brought in, agents who have been with the company for a minimum of 3 years. Okay, so you have to have helped grow this company and be part of it, and maintain an active real estate license will become eligible to continue to collect 60% of their monthly revenue share payments even after they're no longer representing clients. So essentially you can retire, and if you've helped build this company, 60% of that monthly revenue can still be coming your way. That's something that at this time, as far as I'm aware of, is not offered by any other company. As well as this, willable revenue share. So that can be passed on to a beneficiary so should something happen to you. And then something else also that's new and I think is underrated, it actually is something pretty amazing, is co-sponsored revenue share. So you could say, you know what, I really like these two agents and they help me so much. So you can actually name two agents as your sponsors when you join Real, and then they'll benefit from the revenue share, but you'll be part of their ecosystem, and we're all really in this together. We're all part of the same ecosystem. We are one network of everybody that's here at Real. Okay, this is the third benefit of the brokerage, and this is our state-of-the-art technology. And I can tell you, I watch closely about what our brokerage is doing and what we're going to be building and what we're growing and what's coming on the horizon. And I've never seen anything like it in any other company. And again, I'm not speaking disparagingly of anyone else. I see what we're doing and it's pretty astounding. So as far as technology, here's some of the apps that we're currently using. So Lofty, it's our CRM website builder. It costs, I believe it's $40 a month. You can opt in, you can opt out, you can do what you want. You can use something else if you're already using something. But it is a relatively powerful CRM, and the website, I have no complaints with it. You can visit my website if you want to take a look at it. I made it with Lofty. It is seizthedaygroup.com, SEAS, thedaygroup.com. Workplace. This is actually going away. It's actually quite interesting. Facebook said, no, we're discontinuing Workplace. So we do have a new solution already in the works, and it's going to fill the gap really nicely. But think of it just basically as Facebook. You log into it, but it's a community of just everyone in real. There'll be different, little different sub communities. Maybe you're interested in making YouTube videos, and there'll be people talking about that in there. Or there's Real Academy, and then you just click that and you can see all the live courses that are going on right now, or what happened today, what happened yesterday. And then, of course, the massive one is our app. That itself deserves its own video, and I'll be making one. But we have our own proprietary app. And this is essentially our filing system. This is how I communicate with my managing broker. When I get a deal, I plop stuff in there. I can quickly see how much income I've generated this month for this year. I can see if I've capped. This is showing the different transactions. So you can see where you're at in that transaction. You can see if something's missing. You can see if the transaction coordinator or if your managing broker said, hey, what about this form? Or you missed an initial here. It'll be right here. You can see if you validated your commission or not. It is insanely powerful. It is really something massive that sets us apart. We also have built-in AI. This is an older screenshot, but there's a little button up here on the top. You just click it and you can ask it a question. That again deserves its own video. It's called Leo. I'm sure you can search it up also. I just am not done talking about tech. We also have Real Signature. So I was with DocuSign before. I think it's a fantastic product personally. The fee was massive. It's $400 to $500 for a year for myself. And then if you have another person, so I had two people, it was $900 for a year. I know Authentisign is quite cheaper, and Authentisign a solid product too. We've come out with our own called Real Signature. It's accessed from right within the app. I can also access it from my desktop version of the app, and I no longer spend $900 a year on DocuSign. There's no need to. We have it now within our own app. It is relatively new. It's been out maybe a year. When it came out at first, it was functional, but not as user-friendly, as intuitive. And I tell you, I'm very active in feedback into the developers, and I'll give them feature requests and like, hey, it sure would be nice if we would do this. And it's not like it just falls on deaf ears. The amount of times where I've suggested something and then it comes to fruition and reality within weeks or maybe a month or two, it's been like 4 times where I've suggested, it sure would be nice if this happened, and it happens. So we really are a technology-based company, and they want to make it easier and make it as best as it possibly can, as quickly as it possibly can. There are other things coming on the horizon too. First, it's going to come to America, not to Canada, because there's so many banking regulations. But Real Wallet is coming, and it's going to be pretty amazing. I really hope we can get it here in Canada too. But again, our banking regulations are quite stringent, so that'll be in the future. But if you're interested, go search that. Just search Real Broker or Wallet, and there'll be content about it. Training and education. So there are, last year, 700 plus live classes and mastermind discussions held. So obviously that's around 2 a day. There's not much that happens on the weekends and holidays. So really, any given weekday, I'd say on average, there's going to be 2 to 4 live classes happening. Nearly 30 live sessions each week occur. So again, this is conducted typically by elite agents. So they do have experience. There may be team leaders, they have a lot of knowledge to share. There's masterminds weekly. There'll be videos weekly just on perhaps creating YouTube content, or like working with your CRM, or working on your website, or talking about lead generation, talking about open houses, open house masterminds. So whatever your specific niche is, whatever you want to niche down in your specific business, odds are there's going to be at least one weekly mastermind. And this is all found within Real Academy. That again is within our app and is also within Workplace. So I can just click on either, see what's happening today. Okay, well, there's one happening at 2 and 3, and they're live Zoom meetings. I can join and be part of it, or I can watch it after it's happened. They're all recorded. I can see, oh, well, I just missed this one an hour ago, but I'll still view it. Or what happened yesterday? And I can jump right in and view. Okay, number 5, revenue share. Ask the question, know other great agents you'd love to be in business with? Get rewarded when they join Real. So I do think that this is a very, not just me, our brokerage feels this is an important thing. Great agents that we'd love to be in business with. I really feel like this is a great brokerage for myself, but I don't think necessarily it's for everybody. And truthfully, I don't want there to be one brokerage where it's all agents within it. It's nice when there's a separation work and a distinction. And in the end, I'd like working and being affiliated with awesome, great agents. So how does this work? You get rewarded when they join Real, and there's different tiers. Now, this does not have to be your focus, and truthfully hasn't been my focus either. I joined Real because I want to sell real estate, and I want the benefits of the technology and the team structure. That was my tipping point. But this is how this works. If you are to bring in up to 4 agents, tier 1, up to $4,000 Canadian per referred agent after they cap. Okay, so, and that is if they are a $12,000 capping agent. So if you say, hey, you would be amazing at Real, I really think that you should be part of it, and they join and they cap, that $12K cap that they pay into the Real brokerage, $4K of it actually does go to you. Now, what happens if that person brings in 10 people themselves? Okay, those 10 people would be in your tier 2 and they'd be filling it up. However, if you only had one person in your tier 1, tier 2 would not be unlocked. So you do need to bring in 4 individual agents, and then tier 2 is unlocked. Again, this does not apply to everybody, but if it's of interest, this is how the structure works. We see in the fine print here, it's based on a non-discounted GCI of 85-15 split. It doesn't include fees. Those agents must also close $650 Canadian every 6 months to be eligible to receive revenue share. So the point of that is we are not a brokerage that's trying to get agents in that can just come and park and they just recruit and bring in other agents. No, we are an actively selling agent brokerage. We want our agents to be boots on the ground selling real estate first. Our support of, so we of course are in the 50 states, but right now in Canada across 4 different provinces. I know one of my biggest concerns with joining Real at first was, what is the support going to be like? Because people, when they leave a brokerage, they're really leaving their broker. And they have leaned on their broker and they trust their broker, and rightfully so. And that broker has helped them through really stressful times. So leaving that broker can cause a lot of anxiety. And I totally understand and sympathize with that because I went through it too. And that was the hardest part about me leaving my previous brokerage too. I really, really appreciated the support there. But I can say that it's not something that is lacking. It's not something that there's a hole in my life. I do get the support here in BC. We do have now 3 managing brokers. Our agent count is still relatively small in BC. We're about 350. So 3 managing brokers. We have 2 on the island, 1 down here in Victoria, 1 up here in just outside of Campbell Bay in the Fanny Bay area. And then we just got one here in the mainland, and they do cover agents all around BC. So we have what's called an agent handbook. That's kind of our go-to PDF if we have questions, and it has links to everything. And in there, there's a phone number to contact a managing broker right now. And it's one phone number for all three. So I can just call and it'll go to whoever's available. I also have email addresses. I also have my managing broker's personal cell phone number, and I can text her and him, Adrian and Lisa, and I can say the support is great. It's amazing. I personally do not feel like anything is lacking. That's the last slide. Build your future at Real. So Real's not for everybody. I do think it is an amazing fit for myself. If it's something that's of interest to you, you'd like to chat about, feel free to reach out. My name's Josh Wood. I'll have my contact information right here. If it's of interest, we can reach out, we can have a chat, see if it is of interest to you. If you have any questions about Real, specifically here in Canada, or something that I missed, feel free to leave a comment or again, reach out to me personally, and I'd be happy to chat with you about it.